You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're only about 3 days away from the legal tampering period opening in the NFL. That's when teams can officially start negotiating with players, but we've talked about this. That really started during the NFL Combine. They should just call this whole thing legal tampering because that's what it is. Well, of course, the Combine was a big deal unless you're Caleb Williams and you think you're better than everybody else. I still don't understand the point of some of the things he did, like not wanting to turn over his medicals. I talked about the fact that does present a problem for another NFL player, and that's Justin Fields, because the Chicago Bears may have to put pause onto things before they can just trade him out of town, because I would assume they won't get the medicals until the pro day. Maybe. Who knows? But the fact is, we got a Titans legend and a three-time Pro Bowler, a former very high draft pick, Taylor Lewan, who's on Bussin with the Boys, that came out, and he was at the Combine, and he was around Caleb Williams a little bit, and frankly, he did not like the vibe he got from Caleb Williams, and this is continuing to not be a great look for Caleb Williams. And you know, people think I really hate Russell Wilson. I don't hate Russell Wilson at all. But in fact, I was pretty high on Russell Wilson for a lot of years until some of the attitude things started coming out. And when you think you're bigger than the team that you're on and your teammates, well, that's when the Seahawks decided they were out on Wilson. All right? Then he had the same problems with the Broncos that first year. And he may have problems finding a job, even though he did see the Giants. But the point is, that guy's got some buildup. He's got some cred. Caleb Williams has none of that. You've never played in the NFL. And this game is as much mental as it is physical, and everybody knows that. So, here we go. Lewan thought the vibes were pretty bad. Quote, one guy that is up for everybody else to interpret, but I did not get a good vibe from Caleb Williams throughout the Combine process. Lewan said on his Bussin' with the Boys podcast with Will Compton, I know a lot of backlash for the boy. He essentially came to the Combine for free gear and interviews. Yikes. Many prospects head to the Combine without wanting to participate in drills, but Williams took that a step forward by refusing to go through the medical review process. Quote, only player in Combine history to not do a medical review. Only dude who didn't run, didn't throw. His choosing not to throw was, hey, there's a lot of film on me. You can watch that in real action. I don't need to do that. So he essentially went there, and then I think he did the one thing about our sour gummies, like him and some lady sat there and tried our sour candy. I don't know what that's about. The 22-year-old Williams appeared to be having a great time in Indianapolis, where he was extremely confident and loose during his media session at the podium. He was even seen jumping into the media scrum to ask a question to a fellow prospect as well. He said during his time he, quote, didn't feel the need to throw at the Combine as well as do medical testing. He explained that he will undergo medical tests during team visits, where those teams expected to be among the top picks in the 2024 NFL Draft will get his medical records. Again, what happens if a team that's picking 20th decides they want to trade the farm to get to 1 to draft you? You don't think they're among the teams that have a chance to get you. So instead of getting drafted by a better team, you haven't put your medicals out there for them to feel confident enough to be able to get that situation worked out. Not to mention, you probably won't meet with that team. But the point is, you're closing doors on other NFL teams that might want to have gotten involved here. I guess not. Quote, I played around 30-some games, I believe. Go ahead, watch a live game and see how I am as a competitor, he said during his press conference. Now, Lewan didn't knock Williams' talent, but he felt the 2022 Heisman Trophy winner gave off an attitude no teammate would want to see in the locker room. Wow. Quote, it's incredible how talented he is, but he's got this type of I'm better than everyone attitude that's coming off of. Now, if that's not the individual he is, he's more than welcome to come on the podcast and explain himself. But what I saw from the short sample size I got watching a few interviews of him on my way to the combine was the guy is very full of himself. He's got some big-time yes people in his camp. Oh, that's never good. Right now that are getting in his ear a little too much. I'm going to tell you, all the warning signs to NFL bust are flashing in red. Red flags right now is out of control with this guy. To me, not a great look. This is a game where no one is bigger than the team. The name on the front is more important than the name on the back type of attitude, and he is not displaying that right now. Wow, he's getting scorched. Williams is expected to be, by many, to be the first name called in Detroit next month when the 2024 NFL Draft kicks off. The Bears currently own the number 1 overall pick, and if they do not take Williams, he is not expected to make it past the Commanders. Lewan was the 11th overall pick by the Titans in 2014, playing all of his 9 seasons in the NFL with Tennessee. He made 3 straight Pro Bowls from 2016 to 2018 and started 100 games at left tackle. And I imagine, really and truly, I mean, I think he might have had some injury issues towards the end, but I'm thinking Taylor might have been able to play another couple of years. But, I mean, look, that's one of the biggest podcasts in the United States when it comes to sports now. So he's doing plenty fine for himself, him and Will Compton, with that Bussin podcast. But that is not a good vibe. You combine that with the crying in the stands with your folks. And, by the way, there was even some more that came out of this. I was reading some comments, and the New York Post put them up from Lewan, and he brought up the equity, the partial ownership in a team. And he just said, with the vibe this guy gave off, it would not surprise him if that is something that actually did come out from somebody around him and or him in this draft process. And if that's the case, man, good luck to the Bears. That's all I've got to say. I've said I would take Jayden Daniels if it was me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm getting closer to dropping this guy even further down my list. At this point, I really am. I was like Jayden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake Maye. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, are we making it to 3? Are you making it to 4? Because so much of playing NFL quarterback is mindset. That's crazy to me that all of this is coming out, and it's a really bad look. Have you noticed something? A guy I really like a lot, C.J. Stroud. And I was high on him before the draft. That is one that we can talk about, Chris Sims. He nailed. He said, oh, it's Stroud all day long. Well, do you notice how humble that kid has been before the process and everything? And look, let's be real. He looks like one of the best quarterbacks to have come out in years. I mean, he played that well. He played as well as any rookie played since Andrew Luck's rookie year. And that guy was humble, appreciative, worked his butt off. You could tell he had been working on his trade, keeping his nose down, busting his ass. And Houston's like, we got a franchise quarterback for 15 years now. And that kid's going to be a tough out in the playoffs if they make it next year. That's crazy. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. This is just awful. It's awful. It's like every other day there's something new on this guy. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.